Once upon a time, in the flourishing kingdom of Eldoria, there ruled a king unlike any other. King Alden was known for his wisdom, fairness, and, above all, his kindness. Unlike rulers who lived behind castle walls, Alden often walked among his people, listening to their troubles and sharing in their joys. His greatest belief was that a kingdom was only as strong as its weakest citizen. Under his reign, Eldoria prospered. The fields yielded bountiful harvests, the rivers flowed with clear water, and the people lived in peace. But King Alden did not take this prosperity for granted. Every morning, he would rise early and visit the villages, speaking to farmers, artisans, and merchants. He ensured that no one in his land went hungry, that orphans were cared for, and that disputes were settled fairly. One autumn, however, disaster struck. The seasonal rains failed, and the rivers dried up. The fields, once golden with wheat, withered under the relentless sun. Soon, food grew scarce, and the people worried that winter would bring famine. Whispers of fear spread across the kingdom, but King Alden remained resolute. Rather than hoard the palace's supplies, he ordered the royal granaries to be opened. "No man, woman, or child in Eldoria will starve while I am king," he declared. The people, moved by his generosity, found hope amid despair. However, the royal advisors were troubled. "Your Majesty," one of them warned, "if we give away all our food, the palace itself will have nothing left." King Alden merely smiled. "A palace is just stone and gold. A kingdom is its people. If they suffer, so do we all." But even with the king's generosity, the food supplies dwindled rapidly. It was clear that the kingdom would not survive the winter unless something miraculous happened. That was when a poor farmer named Tobias came to the king with an idea. "Your Majesty," Tobias said, bowing low, "I have lived on this land for many years, and my father before me. The river may be dry, but beneath the earth, there is still water. If we dig deep, we can find it." King Alden's eyes lit up with hope. "Then we shall dig," he said. At first, the task seemed impossible. The soil was hard and unyielding, and many doubted that water could be found. But the king himself took up a shovel and began to dig. Seeing their ruler work alongside them, the people were inspired. Farmers, blacksmiths, and soldiers alike joined the effort, digging from sunrise to sunset. Days turned into weeks. Just as hope began to wane, a cry of joy rang out: water! A fresh underground spring had been found, and soon, wells were dug across the kingdom. With water restored, the fields were replanted, and the crops flourished once more. By the time winter arrived, Eldoria had enough food to sustain every citizen. The people rejoiced, not just because they had survived, but because they knew they had a king who truly cared for them. Years later, when King Alden's reign came to an end, he was not remembered for his riches or conquests but for his kindness. A statue was built in the town square, not of him seated on a throne, but of him with a shovel in hand, alongside his people. And so, the legend of the kind king of Eldoria lived on, a reminder that true greatness lies not in power, but in the love and care for others.